Novolinial, doing some test plays today. So I'll be running your map here. I guess that is. So yeah, let me check your notes here. So first map, yeah, okay, that's awesome. Yeah, hope you're having fun with it. Just want to know if you're heading in the right direction as far as flow and comfortability go. Okay, so longish intro. All right, so I'll jump in pretty fast so we can just kind of go through that. Okay, and yeah, I'll try to remember this afterwards, but we'll talk about ways that you can shorten your intro. If I forget to mention it in the video, I always put comments in the YouTube description. So I'll try to describe ways that you can get rid of a long silence at the beginning. Because yeah, if it's 21 seconds, that's insanely long. And unless it's like part of the song, you definitely don't want that. And yeah, there were a couple issues on Map Checker. I think I'll talk about that afterwards. Hopefully I'll remember. So a couple things, that I'll point out before I get started, because I saw your hard difficulty map. To be fair, I don't play hard maps myself. I'm more of an expert plus player. But I am down mapping to hard, so I know a lot of the theory and stuff. So, you know, take everything I say with a grain of salt. I'm not a native hard difficulty level player. So I don't know 100% what people like, but I'm trying to learn, essentially. A couple things. That is a very high note jump speed for hard, and your jump distance is really high, probably to offset it. So it does put your reaction time where I would expect for a hard level map at about 960. I will play it and see, but we might have to tweak those numbers. So I'm going to jump in right now, because yeah, if we're sitting here waiting like 20 seconds in silence, then we can talk about some stuff, okay? Okay, there's music. Like, as long as there's something going on, you can have some silence. But I would maybe do something, right? Like, start, I don't know how you're doing your lights, but maybe you can build up your lighting gradually, or do some walls or something. Lots of vision blocks here. Yeah, so, the face blocks here, yeah, having the notes directly behind them, yeah, vision blocks, you can't see them. You can run your map through the map checker and it'll point out those things. But general rule of thumb is if you're using Chromap or, I don't know if the other ones have it, there's something called the half jump duration. And that's basically the length of time behind a face block that essentially you can't put anything because it's going to create a vision block. So I don't know what your number is for the song. I'm guessing because it's hard difficulty, probably about like a 2 or maybe a 2.5. So that means for like that length of time after a face block, you can't put anything directly behind it or it's going to be a vision block. So we'll keep going. I won't at this point bother pointing out every single one. Yeah, unless they're egregious. Oh, that was a reset. Whoop, that was a reset too. Yeah, these are all resets. Yeah, and on hard difficulty, people are going to be expecting parity. Resets. Well, yeah, so you definitely don't want a pattern like that. The notes up here, it has a name, which I forget. It's one of the forbidden patterns you can see in the, wiki. It has a name, but I can't remember what it is. But the reason why you don't want the crossover in the top corners there is for two things. Is one, it's very uncomfortable to play. And two, it is a high risk of, me hitting my headset, of people slapping their face with the controllers. I don't think that'll happen here because the map is very slow, but still, that's, a forbidden pattern. Those wrist rolls are fine, but that reset into the doubles, is not good. Well, that was, let me go back to that, but yeah, that just completely needed my arms to be somewhere that they were not. Like that red coming across. Whoop, that was my bad. Sorry. Yeah, so that red is completely not set up. I already forget what my arm was doing in that situation, but yeah, I absolutely could not get my, like, that's a very, like, doing these kind of crossovers, they need to be set up properly. So to do a crossover like that, I think you had, like, I would have needed my arms completely crossed so that I could uncross them to do that note. I think the red technically was over here. Let me go back and check that again. I'll just start here. It's fine. Yeah, see, that was fine because my arms are already there. But see, now what happens is that note comes and like my left arm is already over here. So that's 100% a horizontal reset because to play that next note, I have to come back and swing in. That wasn't even the one I was talking about though. Sorry. Okay, and I already forget. Oh my God, sorry. I'm all over the place. Yeah, so that one's set up correctly, but then I have to come back to get that one. Okay, I guess technically the left arm is still, or the right arm still is over here. That's a long length of time to keep your right arm crossed. Because what's going to happen is, for that length of a gap, I don't fully reset. Like I am keeping my hand down, which so the vertical parity is there, but like I'm not keeping my right arm all the way across my body for that whole length of time. It kind of naturally comes back to the middle a little bit, especially as I'm doing stuff with the left arm. So what happens is then I have to do that note and my arms are kind of like down here, right? Cause yeah, the left arm is on this side, but it's down here. So technically I could get that one up to do the cross, but then I have to bring this one back and it's really uncomfortable to play. So if you're going to do big crossbody things, they absolutely must be set up properly. Otherwise, the flow is going to be very poor. Okay. Yep, so vision blocks and resets. Yeah, that was reset on red. Okay, yeah, so, yeah, that felt good. So the reaction time did feel, like again, it feels comfortable for me to play, but remember I'm an expert plus level. So let me play with the numbers a bit. So what we want is, this should probably be closer to like 13. I wish I had a reaction checker on my thing. I don't. And this should probably be like 25 would be my guess. So that probably would give us a similar reaction time. But I think that's going to feel better. Let me... Okay, I'll start here. Yeah. Because basically your hard level players need lots of time to see the notes coming at them. Oh yeah, all the resets. Yeah, so this kind of feels more like what I would expect in terms of play. The other thing too that just occurred to me now, because it's a hard level map, these patterns are really complicated for hard. Like it's slow and you're not doing too many notes. That's good. But these weird crosses and angles and stuff, like general rule of thumb with hard is, like your notes per second was fine. Once I fixed like the note jump speed and jump distance, I think that was fine. But essentially, like when you're mapping hard level maps, like I think you want to have more cardinal directions and more, friendly patterns, right? Like some of these patterns, even if they were set up correctly, are quite challenging. And I would probably consider more like expert to even expert plus style patterns. So it's not that you can't do cross bodies. It's not that you can't do doubles. You can even have stuff in the top row. That's fine. But probably you want the patterns to be a little friendlier. Like I said, take that with a grain of salt. If you're a hard level player and you find these patterns comfortable, then you might know more about that than me. But just some of the patterns feel very challenging, even if they were set up correctly. So you just want to be mindful of that. So yeah, like I think there's a lot of interesting ideas here. Definitely the double directionals and the vision blocks need to be fixed. And like I said, I think the big thing is, especially if you want to keep these really complicated patterns, they absolutely must be set up properly. So for example, kind of think about like where, like you're basically choreographing a dance, right? So if you want the next note to be this, what does the notes ahead of time have to be? You have to set up something so you're out here. Like you want to be kind of thinking ahead like that, or thinking backwards almost, right? Like especially when you're doing, like if you want to do coming back across. Man, you better set it up so that their arms are crossed in the first place. Otherwise, people can be scrambling and they're going to hit it poorly. I want to see if there's anything else that no, we just need to fix the double directional vision blocks. I'm just kind of looking at the summary. Yeah, so I'll give you a link to the map checker. It'll point out all those issues because like it's just impossible to point out every single one while you're playing. But I like the song. I like the idea. Even the silence at the beginning is fine because there is music to it. Like maybe building up the lighting, although it doesn't looks like you're using base lighting, so I don't think you can really ease into the lighting. If I think of anything else, I'll post it in the comments of the video. But otherwise, I hope that helps.